Hey y'all, whether it's morning, evening, or afternoon, I'm just glad that you guys had decided to vibe with me, the one and only E. Today's vibe, we are closing out with the new year, just basically doing a recap of the year as well as within the podcast. So, with that being said, today's vibe is just a recap of the year. So, basically, pointing out the pros and the cons, the good and the bad of what had happened this year that can impact with your life and also my life as well. And then y'all may or may not have the same obstacles that I had. But if you did, hey, I'm just glad that we were able to get through this journey either together or not. So without further ado, I want you guys to sit back, relax, and enjoy hearing my voice, whether you're on the go or at home. I want you guys to get real comfortable because, yeah, let's just, recap and think about some things such as like wearing out, like I said, the pros and the cons, and what can we do. And, sometimes we always say that shoulda, coulda, woulda. So, yeah, let's just get into it. So let's just break it down like this. In the beginning of the year, I'll say this. For me personally, at the beginning of the year, I just finished out my, what was it? Fall semester of 2022. Like I literally just transferred to Morgan. Like I literally transferred to Morgan. Like I was fresh out of community college, then went straight to a HBCU so I can pursue my 2 or 3.5 years here at Morgan State University that I am at now. And I'm gonna just say overall this year, let's just go from like this. Overall this year, I say I learned a lot about myself and I took risks on things that needed to be done. And I hope you guys also took the risk on doing things that needed to be done in your life, let alone doing things that you know for a fact that you needed to improve on, let alone like just go out there and do it. Because I'm telling y'all, I think like after my birthday, that's when I just really felt comfortable in taking risks on just doing it, because like I say, and if you're new here, the mental is very important. That mental is very important because that is one of the many things that keep us grounded. That's one of the many things that we must keep intact because it's important to our life. It's a part of our health, So I learned a lot when it came to my mental, especially when it came to the podcast. So I'm going to say like this. Overall this year, I've been through some good and some bad, some surprises, and some, what the hell? So I say this because I always break the year down like into 6 months. So let's say, let's do it like this. I'm going to say, because it's 12 months, I'm going to say like this. 12 months out of the year. I'm going to say like this. I'm going to say probably from January to June. I say things were okay. They weren't so bad. Like I said, like I had my good moments, I had my bad moments. Like January, started spring semester of 2023. That semester, let me just start with the semester. That semester was really, that was a questionable semester. And I'm going to say it was questionable because like the courses I was taking was to get into my program as social work major. Those courses I took, amazing. The other classes, like the electives that I needed, just and for my school in general, was blowing me because it's just like one was online and the other one was in person, and then we all had that one professor or teacher like once it's done, it's done. And if you're not there, I'm not going back. And whoop-de-whoop-whoop. So, like, last semester, I didn't miss that semester, I didn't miss any classes because I just couldn't risk it. I couldn't risk it. I just, that semester really just had me like, I was so glad, for my prereqs to get into the program. Yes, and that was my main focus for this year was to get in the program. I told myself, okay, after, when May came around, apply for the program so you can get in. And y'all, I was on 10 because I'm like, hold up, this process taking a little bit longer than it was supposed to from what I have heard. But when I got the letter, I was just like, yes, blessings on blessings, because it's sacrifices. Let's just talk about sacrifice right now. Within this year, I know we all had to take sacrifices and do things that we had to sacrifice in order to get the results that we wanted. No matter how big or small it was, we had to take and had to do so much to sacrifice to get something, because like it's very important to us. So if I have to do like working, if I have to work 7 days a week, no days off, if I gotta work the whole month, 60, 90 days, I gotta do what I gotta do, because I'm sacrificing something in order for things, to get handled. That comes with a business, it comes with being parents, that comes with anything of the source that is impacting with your life. I don't care if nobody else I don't care if nobody thinks it's important. It's important to you. As long as it's important to you, and you did what you had to do, because the sacrifice that you make is going to pay off in the end. Like, I sacrificed a lot of things in jobs. Like at the beginning of the year, I had a job working in a children's hospital. I loved it until I noticed this wasn't for me. So I had to fall back. But I was glad I got the experience and got some type of, feel of it. And then, like, I was like, okay, I got a feel of it. I love it, but I always see myself at a desk. I see myself at a desk. I see myself being a boss. Like, that's why if you guys follow me on my Instagram, I'm always saying the CEO, because I'm putting that into the atmosphere. I'm manifesting that I will be a CEO. I will be a boss of something so global, to the point where it's like, I sacrifice this. This is for me. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with working for or with someone, in order for you to get your stuff in order. That's what I'm doing now. And I'm not afraid. I'm not ashamed of, because at the end of the day, it's a sacrifice that I'm doing, and bills need to be paid. I need to be eating. I need to be taken care of. I need to be well taken care of. Okay. So, the semester has started. So January, semester has started. I started a new job. It was going well, but then like around February and March, I had to fall back because my studies were getting in the way also. And then I was just like, okay, you got a feel of it. And then it's like, okay, this is not for you. So February, I'm going to say February, not much really happened in February, I'll say. Not really. But I can say this. I will say this. I'm lying. In February, I say this, I became more social on campus, even though I had started in the fall of 2022. When spring 23 came around, I was more social. Like, I met some amazing people. I have a friend now that is one of my best of friends. Like, when I first came to Morgan, I'll say this, I didn't socialize with nobody. It was the same. I felt like I was going through the same cycle I was when I was at my community college. Like, I go to class and I'm out. Once class over, I'm going home, getting ready for work, and that was that. And when I went to Morgan, when I transferred, same thing. But then I was like, you know what? I can't do this. When I'm a social work major, I have to be social. We have to be involved, because, like I said a couple episodes back and here and there, as a social work major, you're involved with a lot of projects. And you're involved with a lot of people all over that's in the same program as you. So you have to be social. You have to put your best forth out there. Sometimes it's like, okay, the day and the day, but it's like but I always say, long as the job gets done and everything is correct, and it's not procrastinating, it's not sloppy, we're going to get this done. So I say, like, school-wise, from January to June, it went well. It went well, but the semester did have me questionable, because it's like, maybe because by me, when I was in community college, I took like 15 to 18 credit courses. And then when I came to Morgan, it was just like either 12. It was 12. My first 2 semesters, really, I was just like, this ain't it. It's not enough. It's not enough for me. This ain't what I'm used to. And that's why it, like, the semester just had me like, what is going on? And by just starting, most of my credits were like already approved, and they were like credible for me. And I couldn't take the courses that I'm taking now back there because I had to be in the program. So I was just like, okay, like, I'm really like, I have nothing to do, and the semester was really questionable, and I'm just like, okay, get the work done, go to work, handle your business, and that's that. So yeah. So I say, like, but then the beginning of the year, the 6 months, beginning of the year, those 6 months, it was not so bad. I'll say that. It was not so bad. Made some money, had my ups and downs, but I was able to overachieve everything that I was going through. Then let's take it to what we got? I guess you could say half of June up until today, because yeah. So when the semester was over, I was like, okay, I'm gonna work, because like every time I go on break, I'm working like I got a family to feed. Like I got my own little family to feed, like 5 to 10 kids down there. So why not grind, stack that paper, get the money, let it, because like if I stay in the house, I'm gonna go to sleep. Like I'm a clean, like I'm a really clean, organized stuff, everything, like to the point where the closet getting rearranged, dressers, clothes. So I was like, I'm gonna work. Even if I have 1 or 2 days off, long as I know I'm working, it's keeping me busy, and my body is not so tired. Because that was another thing too. That's another thing too. Like when you're not on your feet that much, like your body gets worn out, and that messes with your mental too. Because it's like, I don't want to do nothing. Like I don't want to do that. So from half of June up until the day, the podcast was begun. It was born. And like I said, like in the beginning, when it came to the podcast, y'all, I remember, like, this is so crazy. Like, before Christmas, I'm gonna say this, probably like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was looking through my phone, my notes, because I keep everything in my notes. It's from the podcast to like notes of like what's going on today, what I need to do, if I need to edit X, Y, and Z. And I seen this notes I had because I wanted to do graphic design, such as like, the party promoters, flyers, party favors, and business flyers and things like that. Because like when I was in high school, some of my friends, like, they'd be like, oh, can you design, or can you, whip up like something for me? And I was like, okay, cool. And they was like, you should make a business out of it, because you're real good when it comes to it. Mind y'all, I had an iPhone 8. I had my iPhone 8 Plus and was doing it. Like, I didn't have my iPad. I didn't have my MacBook. I was doing everything on a phone. Like, I had so many apps. It was just like, whoa. And looking back at those projects, I'm like, wow, I really did that. And I remember what was just so crazy. Like, I remember when I did jot down the names of like what I wanted to do if I was to have a ever took the risk on having a graphic design page, just being that person, be like, oh, you can hit me up, I can do this for you, fly, da 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 da. And when I did the business cards, people was like, oh, you did your own business cards, da 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 da, like, can you help me? And that's still in the works too, because it's like, when it comes to design, when it comes to being creative and having a creative mind, shout out to all the creative people out there, because y'all really have a creative eye. Like, some of the stuff, like, we really turn nothing into something. Because when it came to doing the podcast, the name, the outline, the layout, everything, it took me a while. And that's why I procrastinated so long until this year. I was like, fuck it, we gonna get it done. Because it was my mission to do this. It was like, this gonna keep me on my toes too. This gonna keep me a little bit busy. This gonna make me feel like I'm important. That's why I say CEO, Mrs. CEO. Because this made me feel important. And I know a lot of us out there had the moments in our life where, okay, it's going to take me a while to get this project started, but long as I put my best foot forward and have that blueprint, I'm good. Another thing too, if you're new here, I'm big on blueprint. Like, I'm big on the blueprint because, like, that blueprint is like a sketch of your vision. And you want everything on that blueprint to come to life to the T. You want every little detail to come to, come to life. Like how they say you turn a dream into reality. That's how I live by that too. Like, I can dream it, I'm manifesting, and it's going to come to reality. Because I want to turn that dream into a reality. Because, like, I'm walking in my dream and it's coming, to reality. So that's another thing. I don't want y'all to give up on yourself. That's another thing too. Like, within this year, it was at times where I almost gave up on myself because, like, I just felt like I was over it. And like when you have people in your corner, and then there's people in your corner, but then it's like they backpedaling, and they like, oh, talk about you on the side. It can really affect you. It can really hurt you. And somebody like me that has sensitive feelings here and there, but also is getting tough with a lot of tough skin now too, and finally able to speak her piece and speak her mind. Don't let nobody play with you. Like, it's been too many times I let people slide on things, and I was like, I'm done, I'm over. And that was one of the biggest lessons I learned this year, y'all. Do not let nobody, I don't care how close y'all are, I don't care if y'all blood related, I don't care. Do not let nobody play with your peace, your respect, your morals, your values, none of that. Because at the end of the day, your feelings matter. You put yourself first, and that's all that matters. Like, I just feel like I don't have time to people be playing with me because, like, for one, I don't got time to be going back and forth. Two, people love to see other people downfall. Most of the time, you would think people would love to see you happy. Most of the time, people love to see you down bad because they feel sorry for you. And that's another thing I didn't like too. I just couldn't stand when people be like, oh, why you don't talk to me? Why you don't tell me so? This is another thing you got to learn too. And I hope this will transpire to you into 2024. You got to leave a mystery. You got to leave a mystery within your life, especially when it comes to social media. Because some people, they post every little thing. Everything to the T. It's like, you don't have no mystery. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know you. It's like, I know everything about you because every 5 minutes you're posting something or someone that has affected you or you're dealing with, Sometimes you need to leave a mystery and keep certain stuff private because not everybody needs to know. Like with the podcast. I use the podcast as a prime example because I didn't want to jinx myself. That was the number one thing. I didn't want to jinx myself. I didn't want to say, I'm going to start a podcast. And then I didn't. What if I would have started the podcast, y'all? It wasn't committed to it as I am now. It wasn't like consistent as I am now. Because like at times we do have those moments in our life where it's like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. But then it's like, when you come to the T, it's like, what the hell? Like, you're not staying consistent. So when people found out about it, it was like, oh my God, I didn't know that. What made you want to do that? It was just like, and then I said, hey, I love to talk and I love listening to podcasts. And the podcasts that I listen to, they are helping me one step at a time. Like, one of my favorite podcasters is She. Like, when I used to go to the gym, I'd be in there listening to it. When I'm on my way to work, wake up in the morning, I ain't doing nothing and go to bed. Like, she really just had me thinking. And she's a Cancer, so that's my Cancer sister. Shout out to you. So, that was one of the biggest things that stood out to me too, is that if your podcast can help a lot of people, as long as it helps someone. And that's why I use my platform to speak in my truth, tell you what I say. And I'm going to keep it real. Like, people be acting like they, SHIT don't stink. Like, yes it do. Don't sit around here thinking you got it like that, because like that's another thing too. People fail to realize, do not think you all that when I know you good and well, because I'll be like, oh, and that's another thing too I learned about. You cannot tell somebody how to do certain stuff, because it's like, it's not your business and it's not your place. So I had to learn that, like, people used to fake the funk, and it's too much. Like, don't be trying to act like you got it like that, but then behind closed doors, you're begging. But then in my mind, I'm like, I can't judge it, because it's not my place, it's not my business. But if I know you well enough and you know me well enough, they're going, well, I'm not doing that. Like, you should know who to play that game with, who to play that game with, who not to play that game with. I just learned that too. Like, a lot of people play mind games on you and try to do stuff to you. And one of the topics I wanted to talk about this year, but I didn't within vibes, was jealousy. And that's another thing too. I know we all dealt with jealousy. I feel like we deal with it every year, but this year was just like, boom, right in my face, like all up in my face within things that I just feel like it shouldn't be called for. Like, little things that I did in life, like, why are you jealous of? I don't be jealous of the next person, because, like I said, at times things are not meant for you. Like, sometimes it's not meant for me to, move out. It's not meant for me to get a new car. It's not meant for me to get a new job right now. It's not meant, some stuff is not meant for you. Yes, if the next person had got it right then and there, I give them their flowers, congratulate you, because I'm not no hater. But let you be the one to tell somebody about your achievements, such as, oh, I got my degree, I got this, blah, 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 blah. They be like, oh, for real, congrats. So, I don't like the word congrats. I just be like, what? Say the whole word congratulations. Make me feel like I feel like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me with that, but yes. Another thing too I learned when it comes to cons is you got to be really careful on what you say and what you do, such as like with your accomplishments. Like I said, some people acknowledge it, some people don't. Word from Wale, he's one of my favorite songs right now. Don't hold your applause for me. Don't even do it. Don't even applaud me if it's not genuine. Don't do things that are not genuine. And I've seen a lot of that this year, because me, I'm real genuine. And when Christmas came around too, I seen a lot of people like I knew that like worked with or went to school with and stuff. So I'm like, I don't really care for Christmas stuff like that. And I checked on like, even though it's Christmas, I know you're not really into it, I want to make sure you're okay, stuff like that. Some people are not genuine to do shit like that. Some people are not even genuine to even give somebody a simple compliment. Not even say something nice about, like, why it's called jealousy, and that's an envy. People who love to see you fall before they see you grow. And I know we all been through that this year. And I'm telling y'all now, when we walking into the new year of 2024, leave all that out the door. All them people. And there's another thing too, I tell everybody, trust your gut, trust your intuition. I don't care how good or bad the issue is. If you know it don't feel right or do feel right, go for it. That's a lot of my intuition did not lie to me this year, because certain stuff and certain people just had me all the way messed up. And some stuff was a very good opportunity for me that I thank God every day that I took it. Even within the bad, I thank God for showing me, because I learned. That's another thing too. Within this year, I say I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself more than ever. Like, this semester came, fall 2023. This semester probably was one of the best semesters I had in a long time. And I had 15 credits. So I was, sticking and moving. Even though y'all know I ranted about the rants and all about the group projects, they was giving me the blues. But baby, at the end of the day, I still maintain a 3.8 GPA. like it's been times where I be up like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning when it came to the group projects and make sure we were good and making sure I was okay with all my assignments and things like that. I don't play. Like, there's been times where I was like, oh my God, I gotta get this homework out the way. And then I gotta record because this is my routine. And this is something that I created. This is something that I made for myself. This is a promise that I made to myself. And I want to stay consistent. And one thing about me, I'm going to stay consistent on something, because once I'm like out of it, I'm out of it. Like the gym, y'all, goodness gracious. I gotta get back in the gym. Probably summertime was just like not for me, because like I was working, and then the podcast. Like I would go to the gym here and there in the morning, but then I was like, all right, forget it. I was like, all right, forget it, because I used to work in the mornings. Like I still work morning shifts. So I was like, all right, I can't go to the gym at this time. And at nighttime, oh no. I was like, nah, I don't like nighttime, because like when I went with my best friend for the first time, everybody and their mama was in there, and I like to have like an open gym. I like, to have some type of room, and I don't have to wait on certain stuff, but hey, at times it happens, but I'm gonna get back in there. But this year, like I said, I hope y'all learned about yourself overall, especially when it comes to the good and bad, the surprises, the pros and cons, highs, lows, prizes, all that good and bad stuff, because it was a lesson learned. Like every year I say I learned about myself, and every lesson that I dealt with in my life, I learned within the end. Even if it was good or bad, I learned. Like you learn something new every day. Like I learned something new every day about myself and what I can do and what I'm not taking no more. And I hope y'all all did the same, because every day is a new day. And every day is something different. You could have the same routine, but it could be different. Like my professor / my chairperson for my major, she tells every time, like, because I took family violence, domestic violence. Every time, sometimes things happen in our life, we always say we want our life to go back to normal. And there's no such thing as normal, going back to normal. It's starting a new normal. So every year is a new normal, or every obstacle you go through, just know things are not going to go back to normal. You have to find your new norm. You got to find what can you feel as, is comfortable and normal to you now. Because like going back to that old norm is impossible. It's impossible. So that's another thing too I learned this year. Like some of the stuff I went through was like, dang, I said too, I want things to go back to normal. But then it didn't. Because I had to start a whole new routine. And that routine also helped me and impact on me and reflect on me into the person I am today. As well as going and counseling. One of my professors, my social policy and welfare professor, when the incident had happened at my school, during homecoming week with the shooting and everything, a lot of people in my courses were either shook up. Some was like, it's surprising. Some was like, it is what it is. And some was in the middle. And for me, I was shook up a little bit, because it's like, you wouldn't think people would do that during homecoming. But, usually stuff like that happens on the day of the football, homecoming. But that a peaceful rally, it was just so crazy. But it got even more crazy because it's like, as a social worker, and you're dealing with people that's going through everything in the book, you have to be able to deal with that. And if you're working in a field that deals with you working with people on a mental level, please go out and get help. Now, I don't know funny stuff, but for real, go get you some help too, because we have some things in our life that needs to be patched up, resolved, and things like that. And in order for us to make sure that our clients are comfortable, we need to be there for them and also like relate to them, but don't make it, within the session that the client is the counselor and you as the counselor, social worker, therapist, whatever, is not a client. Because that was one thing that I had that I was like, oh man, if I be a social worker or a counselor, I need to make sure I do not blow things out of proportion or don't bust out in tears, because like I said, I'm sensitive when it comes to certain things. And at times it's like, oh my gosh, I can't do this, I can't do that, da da da. So, I had to learn. So I'm gonna say, like, overall this year was a learning a learning year. And I have to say, I had some good and some bad times. Had some fun. I think I had a little bit more fun this year than I did when I was 18, during the pandemic. Because, one, by me being social, going to a HBCU, it just changed everything. Being involved in things and also being social, period, it made me feel more comfortable. It made me feel like I finally found my voice and I know who I truly am some more. Like I know who I am, but deeply, on a deeper level, it's like, whoa, I can do a lot of things as long as I put my mind to it and I do what I gotta do. So from like the end of June up until the day, I had some moments, some breakdown moments, some moments where I'm just like, I'm over it, I'm sick of it, I'm tired and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I always made sure I came out strong. Because I don't want to go outside. Because if I go outside, I don't want to do anything no more. I don't think I want to continue. I don't think I would ever, be where I'm at today. Like, if I would have stopped, like, it's been times where I don't want to record. I'd be like, I don't want to record. Or I'd be a day late on recording because I like to get it done a week ahead. I pre-record. Then sometimes, I was like, the sacrifice I gotta make. If I work this day and I get off that time, I'm gonna get myself together, but don't get too comfortable because I got things to do. Shoot, y'all, like, y'all know, like, if y'all got other things to do, dealing with other people, whatever it is, you want to have your time, but it's like, you can't have fun time until your business is taken care of. And I've been like that since I was in middle school. Actually elementary school, because my parents had that in me. Like, you can't have no fun time if your business ain't taken care of. Like, you got to do your homework first before you can do anything else. And then when I got older, it always stuck by me because, like, even as an adult, I'm not having no fun time if I know I got things to do, such as if I got to pay bills. And, when we go outside, it costs. I'm not going outside if I know I got to pay bills, because that money got to go to bills. I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Or they just going to have to wait. Especially when it comes to, like, academics. Oh, no. I'm not new. No, what? What? Girl, bye. Child. That's the thing, too, I learned about myself more. I'm more extra on top. I'm a very organized person. I can't, like... One thing about me, sometimes I might slip on the podcast, but long as it's done. Y'all can't tell me a Wednesday y'all ain't hear me. Y'all can't tell me no Wednesday y'all ain't hear about me. Y'all ain't hear me. Especially when it comes to Instagram. It's no Wednesday that I haven't missed. Yet. But sometimes I felt like I was going to miss because, like, I'd be so tired. But it's like I said, the sacrifices that we gotta get it done. The job ain't done if we ain't doing nothing. If we ain't not doing what we supposed to do, especially if you hold a higher title, manager, boss, assistant manager, supervisor, CEO, all that. You gotta make sure your business is taken care of and it's right. Don't rush it, because when you rush it, sometimes there's always an error. And then sometimes if you rush it and you did what you had to do, kudos to you, baby, because I gotta take my time, read over, make sure everything's good, punctuations, everything. Like, that's just me. But I say this to say, I hope that this year, 2023, you really had the chance to sit back and, take a look back on things. Like, just see what had you like, whoa, what had you like, damn, what had you, like, just sit back and just reflect, recap on how this year did, and how has this year impacted you, and what can you do better, and why will you do that better, and what you will and will not be taken into next year, 2024, because, baby, we're almost there to 2030. I never thought I'd be saying that. 2030. Like 2020. I never thought I'd, like, when I was in middle school, and when I heard, like, when you graduate out of high school, you had all the high school fairs and stuff, and they give you all this 2020. I'm like, 2020? Golly. And this is another thing. Time waits for nobody. Time moves so fast. Like, I just was saying it up there, like, dang, it was just daggone October. Now it's at the end of the year. Like, time waits for nobody, and y'all, please do not waste y'all time, because time blinks like that. Blink of an eye. Time moves so fast, it's like dang, you could be like, someone would be in what, 2026? So that being said, y'all, I hope that this year you learn more about yourself than ever, and you know what you gonna take and what you're not gonna take. I hope that you guys have weighed out the good and the bad, the ups and downs, pros and cons, the surprises and not so good surprises in this year as well for you. And I hope that you were able to examine who's loyal, such as who's real and who's not. Cause it's been a year. It's been a year, but hey, that's just thank God that we here to see another one, okay? So with that being said, y'all, I wish y'all nothing but the best. I hope y'all holidays was amazing. As we enter the new year, please be safe, especially if you have New Year's plans such as going to New York, DC, Philly, Vegas, wherever. Please be safe out here, and please, we should watch your surroundings. I wish y'all nothing but peace and blessings, happiness, and joy. And as always, please be safe out here as well. I'm gonna say that over and over. Please, please, please be safe and be careful out here, cause it's still, that time. People still trying to do what they gotta do. So yes, please be safe out here. Please stand up for yourself and stand your ground. And until then, you guys will hear from me next year. I wish y'all nothing but the best, as always. Bye.